Okay, before you move on to example 3 on page 129, make sure that you have done the problems 1 and 2, the checkpoint problems on page 128 for a little practice. Example 3 just puts a few more things together that you already know. So we'll go ahead and get started on that one. All right, so here's what we have. We have, if we read this, got a compound inequality, and it looks like this. We're saying that right there, negative 2x plus 1 is greater than or equal to negative 7. And then there's a separate one, and negative 2x plus 1 is less than negative 3. So here's what we're going to do. We've got to get this negative 2x by itself. Now how we do that is we have to subtract 1 from every expression. So we're going to subtract 1 here, we're going to subtract 1 here, and we're going to subtract 1 here. Now if you're doing this for the homework, you might be writing these below, like minus 1 here, minus 1 here, and so on. Okay, here's what you're left with. Right here, this is negative 7 plus negative 1. That's negative 8. These cross each other out. Those cancel out. And then this is negative 3 minus 1, or negative 3 plus negative 1, which is negative 4. Okay, so now we're going to simplify. We're going to divide each thing by negative 2. Now, watch what this does. When you divide by negative 2, you divide by negative 2, and you divide by negative 2, that means you have to reverse inequalities. And we remember that from last lesson. You have to reverse inequalities there, and look what that does to the answer here. This is right here becomes positive 4. So negative 8 divided by negative 2 is 4. Notice this inequality is going to reverse, okay, from here to here. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1, so this is x. This inequality reverses right here. And negative 4 divided by negative 2 is positive 2. So here's what we're left with. I'll give you a different color here. We're saying that x is less than 4. Think of some numbers that are less than 4. And x also has to be greater than or equal to 2. So think of some numbers that might work there. Not too many. And then you can write that in here. So the solution is all real numbers greater than or equal to 2. And I'm just going to capitalize that, less than 4. Okay, let's do it on the number line so we can see what these look like. And on the number line, here's what it looks like. So we know on that 4, we're going to have an open circle. We know on the 2, it's going to be a closed circle because it could include the number 2. All right, but it can't include 4. So we're looking for things that are greater than or equal to 2, and it has to be less than 4. So really, it's everything right in here. So anything, 2 1/4, 3, 3.1, 3.9, those work. 2 also works, but 4 doesn't work.